Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
And this week we are joined by Max Cohen. He is amazing. For those who don't know, he's Murray Hillboy on TikTok and Instagram. And Grandma and I have been loving the content.
I love him so. I just can't even get over his content. It reminds me of my life every single day.
Yeah, so relatable, especially for like Jewish everyday life.
For anybody, everybody can relate to it.
Yeah, it's like camp, college, Jewish moms, like New York City, Hamptons, finance bro, that whole life.
Yep.
Like he is so funny and does the best skits. So Max, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Yay. So for those who don't already know, where are you from? Where'd you go to school? What's the
For sure.
background?
Okay, from South Shore, Long Island, East Rockaway. People usually know Hewlett or Limbrook because no one really ever knows where I'm from. Went to camp at Trails End.
Okay.
So shout out to them. And then went to Tulane in New Orleans. Was
Yeah,
adamant,
shout out for Tulane.
100%. Was adamant about flying somewhere far away, or at least driving somewhere very far away.
Yeah.
Wanted to kind of do my own thing, break the bubble, which is funny because I ended up in the bubble that is
Right.
Tulane.
It's all
but
Tulane.
No, but like you're
100%.
going to the South. It feels like, I mean, so my brother went to Tulane. I don't know. We've mentioned it before, but
4,000 times.
maybe. But like he was always calling, he's like on the golf course, he's like tanning. Like it wasn't real life.
No,
yeah,
it-
no. I used to call it like a retirement community because
Right.
that's just what it felt like. We're a very campusy school, and there's trees everywhere,
Yes.
and there's like
It's very pretty.
girls in bikinis and guys in bathing suits.
Yeah.
Definitely a play hard and then work hard after if you have time kind
Right.
of place.
Yeah. And I feel like we were following each other and I forgot, like we were commenting on each other's videos and Max was like, I know your brother from Tulane. And it's just such a small world in that
Such a
way.
small world.
I know. So tell us how you started your content journey, the
sure.
first video you posted, and like why you wanted to get into this.
Yeah. So graduated college, and my parents, who are classic Jewish parents, were like, well, are you going to be a lawyer, doctor, or banker? And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize those were my only
Yeah,
three
those
options.
are the only three.
And I was like, well, I guess I'll be a lawyer. I majored in English and communications. I always loved
Me too.
talking, arguing. And anytime you love to argue, your parents tell you you'd be a great
Yeah.
lawyer. So I've been hearing that since I was very little.
Right.
And I decided to bite the bullet. I got a job at a very large law firm in the investment funds group.
Mhm.
And I was perhaps a little bit naive at first and didn't realize what I was getting myself into. But I was in a very intense work environment where I was, working until 1 a.m. all the time.
Right.
And I have friends who are in IB, and I was like, right, that's what they signed up for. This was totally not what I was planning on doing. So sort of out of frustration with that job and some really good friends kind of egging me on, I finally decided to pursue content, which at first was just silly videos that I was making after work when I had free time. My first video I ever posted was January 14th.
So recent.
So yeah, I'm still
I feel
busy.
like we're-
2024.
Yeah.
2024,
We're catching
yes,
him
ma'am.
before he blows up.
We're an old person here on this in
Speak
this
for
group.
yourself.
Yes,
Both of us.
I can speak for
Both of us.
myself.
But yeah, super new to the whole game. Definitely learning as I go. So what started off as these one-off videos here and there. I think by like my second video, it had 370,000 views. My sixth video was over 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe there's actually something real here.
Right.
And it got to the point where once I joined the Creator Fund, I was sort of able to compete against my current income at my law firm. And I was like, you know what? Let's go all in and let's just do it.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
You're saying that law firm money is the same as just like internally on TikTok making money, not even brand deals?
So, yes, this is not including when I would work a crazy amount of overtime.
Yeah.
So I was an hourly job, but
Right.
for my base salary, with when I first started on TikTok, I was making the same amount on both.
This is like, why would you not want to go into something fun like this? It just proves
100%.
you.
Kimmy's argument.
Yeah, well, it's like if you're good at something and like you can make it probably as much money as doing one of those types of jobs. So
But you have to be very creative like
Of
he
course.
is. I mean, if I went to that job, they would not be laughing.
well, you
But-
have to figure out how to open TikTok first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
That would be a whole thing.
That would
So
be a
why
job.
the skit kind of format?
Sure. So I think that I always wanted to do skits, like the script writing of it all, like the coming up with characters and backstories is just so me. I'm a musical theater kid at heart. Like that was my shtick in high school.
Yeah.
I was that like theater kid.
Were you ever like the lead in a play?
Yes, I was.
What?
You're looking at Tevye and Further on the Roof,
Oh.
Conrad Birdie and Bye Bye Birdie, Nathan Detroit and
Wow,
Guys and Dolls.
these are like
He really
iconic
was
role.
the star.
Well, I will say it is not difficult to be the most talented guy in your musical theater department. I'm sure the girls had a more difficult time there.
Right.
So
I feel like in the city, no, though, because growing up, like my whole grade was
Oh,
professional
Well, you had a
actors.
very
you're from
talented
the city.
grade.
Yeah.
So you're in a totally different
Yeah.
ballpark than me.
You had one
I
role.
never even got in. I really loved. We both loved musical theater, but I loved acting, and I could never even get into the school plays because they were so talented.
You once wore a wig, and then the wig fell off.
Yeah.
And then you had to throw something, and you ended up throwing a bagel. I mean, you were impromptu
I always
even
had
then.
prop work.
Yeah, you always were doing props. You were very busy
Yeah.
in the prop area.
I know.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Okay, so that makes sense. Then you would want to sort of
Right.
do that skit.
And then also, I think, you never know how many people your video is going to reach.
Mhm.
So when I first started, I didn't really care. As it started consistently reaching 40,000 people, 50, 100,000, 200,000, it's a little nerve-wracking to have yourself be what they're looking at. I think for me, the skits are a way to kind of step back, and whether they have positive or negative comments, it's about that character. It's not about me.
Mhm.
Whereas, every now and then I'll do a TikTok kind of about my life,
Yeah.
and I'm so much more like in my head about
So
how I'm presenting
interesting.
myself and what people are saying. Because, I read every comment.
So you do.
Yeah.
See, I don't read any of the comments.
I read
Kimmy
every comment, but she doesn't
Kimmy
have
reads.
like our TikTok password, so
Right.
it's different.
And
guess
I
you
don't
could
want.
see
I
it
don't
from-
want to read it, but I have to tell you a cute story when this is all over, because somebody.
You don't want to tell it on air?
Well, I can tell it on
Oh.
air. Somebody this morning was talking to me and said, "Well, I commented about a product that you were talking about, and I didn't like it." And one of our viewers said, "How you dare contradict Grandma Gail? If she likes it, it's good
Oh,
enough."
you mean they were fighting in the comments?
They were fighting in the comments.
Yeah.
So I said, "That's good, because I never read the comments. So I don't know if you were fighting with this other lady or man. I have no idea."
A
But it's
lot of
very
people
interesting.
come to
People
your
get
defense.
involved. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of things that people have to defend.
No,
Whatever.
yeah,
Whatever.
but-
I thought that was interesting with the comments.
yeah.
100%.
People are really, really into our lives, because once you're on social media the way you are and the way Kimmy and I are, they feel they have an investment in you.
100%. 100%. I
I-
feel that when I bump into people like
Right.
in Murray Hill or the Hamptons,
Yeah.
they come up to me with my whole life story in their head. They're like, "I love that video about that, and I knew you were here last week." And I was like, "Nice to meet you, I'm Max."
Yeah.
And let's just start with the names. And,
Right.
they always come in with their moms on FaceTime.
Uh-huh.
Like, I have my mom here. I saw you in the
Right.
corner of the bar. And the mom's like, "Hi." And I'm like, "Oh, wow."
I love that.
So to your point,
Yeah.
people really do sort
They
of
get
like
into you, which is
latch,
good.
latch on, which is great. I
Which
mean,
is
listen,
good. That's
that's
us.
what I'm here to do.
Exactly.
I love that.
I mean,
So.
you have the unique opportunity now, since you just started to either kind of be in the category of I'm gonna start like a personality driven creator where you're gonna like share things, or have that like skit
Mhm.
nature. And I think a mix is great
Yeah,
too.
that's
But
the plan.
I think that's a great way to start. Where are you getting your inspiration from? Is it like your mom, your family?
So, contrary to
Oh,
what a lot of people think, my mom is totally not one of the moms that
Yeah.
I portray in my videos. That's actually usually my friends' moms. A lot of times, my close friends will like, send me a video and be like, minute 30 to minute, like second 30 to second 40 is totally me and my girlfriend.
Right.
Because like they had that exact same fight last week. Like that was totally my mom when we were freshmen in high school and this happened.
Yeah. And is it?
Well, sometimes I'll say no, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I mean,
Yeah.
Probably is
if you're,
based
wa-
on
if you're
something.
if you know me and you're watching one of my videos and it seems eerily familiar, it's likely taken from your life. But that's what makes it real.
Yes.
I like to, I always have a specific person or group in mind when I'm making my videos. I don't make videos just hoping everyone likes them. I make videos hoping my people like them.
Mhm.
And what's cool about TikTok is people want to be in on the joke, even if they don't get it. So in some of my very niche Jewish mom videos hit
Right.
2 million views, I'm like, there aren't
Right.
even 2 million Jewish moms
Right.
on TikTok. So, but it's just people who want to be in on the joke.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
what I've also learned through posting is there's so many things every ethno group has in
Right.
common.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
the amount of Italian moms or Asian moms or black moms that are like, this is totally me and my daughter, me and my son. 'Cause at the end of the day, a good mom's a good mom. It doesn't
Yes.
really matter, where you're from.
Yeah. An overbearing mom is an overbearing
An
mom.
overbearing mom's an overbearing mom.
I
for
feel like
sure.
that is so relatable.
100%.
And when you're creating videos and stuff, do you know kind of who your demographics are, like age wise, or do you think
Yeah.
it's a
So
mix?
just for those first couple of months on TikTok, I had no clue. Like I wasn't getting any data from the
Yeah.
app itself. It's since come in on TikTok and Instagram. I definitely trend to be younger on TikTok. like
Yeah.
18 to 34. My
Mhm.
Instagram is shockingly 50% 44 plus.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Which I just got those stats back because I made my Instagram like 3 weeks ago.
Mhm. Oh wow.
So I know that I have to assume it's moms. I'm sure there's dads too, and to all my dads,
Yeah.
love you guys. But at least the commenters are primarily moms. So I know that I think I get a lot of like guys and girls and then the moms.
Yeah.
I always say my target audience is like a boy in college and his mom.
Right.
Like if that family exists, like I know that every video is hitting because the ones that the mom doesn't get, the son can get, and vice
Totally.
versa. And that makes sense because that's me and my mom. So.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what's smart. You've got a niche, just like you and I are grandma
Yeah.
and granddaughter.
There's a lot of
He's-
overlapping
There's
audience. I feel like.
exactly, but that's really what you have to gear it to. Yeah, other people who are not interested in those topics, they're not going to watch. By mistake, they'll sometimes put us on or you on, but basically, who's attracted to your content, and you keep going with it because they enjoy it.
100%.
I think it's terrific.
How do you make sure that the humor is something that those people who it's based on can like laugh with and not that you're making fun of them?
For sure. And that's especially in the world we live in now, that is a super fine line. And
Mhm.
I really do, I'll read through my scripts tons of times. And if I don't think it's funny after the 10th time, it's
Yeah.
not going in. I try to be really, really careful to present Jewish people in a positive light. And I want people to be able to laugh with us, not at us.
Yeah.
And I don't want other Jews to feel like I'm making fun of them. But I do, a lot of local research, I guess. I mean, I'm from the South Shore. Half my videos are based on North Shore people this is all Long Island
right.
talk for those of us who are not from Long Island. So I'll text like 12 different people from all different areas and be like, does this check out? Does this make sense to you? Is this something that you would actually say? Is this what you would
Yeah.
actually do? And my videos are always Jewish coded, but they're not always outwardly said that.
Yeah,
So
or
when
religious. They're not.
Yes,
They're
right.
like
No.
cultural.
Yeah, culturally Jewish for
Yeah.
sure. But whenever I do actually like put the word Jewish in the caption or in the title, I take special extra care to really make sure that I'm presenting, I'm a proud member of the Jewish community, and I never want people to think that's not the case.
Yeah. No, I think that's so true. When you do say like your Jewish mom or something, like what's the most like Jewish mom thing that your mom has done in your life?
It's funny we were talking about musical theater before because my mom was always like afraid of like the other Jewish moms in my high school. Like they're so intense, they're so crazy, but inevitably she became one. The most clear example is it was like when we were younger, it was first come, first serve to see the school play. So my mom was like, all these other moms are gonna get there at 4 p.m.
Right.
even though it starts at 7. So my mom would get there at 3, and
Yeah.
lo and behold, every
Everyone
time
gets
she'd
there
send
at
me a
2.
selfie. No,
Oh.
she actually became that first one there.
Oh,
And I was like,
great.
you're so afraid of these crazy moms. Meanwhile, they're the ones who think they're coming so early. They pull up and you're already there, like frantic, shaking, like I've been in line for hours. So I think, in that sense, like
She
the whole-
loved you.
Right,
She loved you.
right.
She wanted
And
to be supportive.
I was actually very quiet when I was younger. I'm sure people are probably shocked to hear that. So those like little moments when I was on the stage doing my thing, my mom was like, I gotta see it. I gotta
So
be the first one
cute.
there.
It's terrific.
Did you or do you have a relationship with your grandparents?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So my mom's mom, I have 2 grandmas, of course. I love them both. My mom's mom is definitely who I base my grandma character off of.
Love.
I mean, this is a woman who is, I hope she's not watching this, a waiter's worst nightmare. She will put anyone in their place. I mean, I have just watched her bulldoze over anyone in her way. But at the end of the day, of course, she has really good intentions and she only wants what's best for her family.
Yeah.
So definitely a very matriarchal family.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is
Right.
somewhat true for you guys
Absolutely.
as
I mean,
well.
I don't know if you saw the like grandma video that Max made, but complains about the temperature of the restaurant, the temperature of the food,
Right.
gives out like $100 bills for no reason to all of her grandkids.
Has to move tables, which
Right,
my
right.
grandma
Oh my
moved tables
gosh.
more than once, and my
Well, that-
whole family is like heads down, like we like
Cringe.
mouthing "I'm sorry" to the waiter, like
Yeah.
tipping extra, just trying to make it through the meal. But I think
Well, that was Don Rickles' whole bit, that everybody who was Jewish was changing their tables. They were getting a draft. The food wasn't hot.
Right.
And all the non-Jewish people were already finished with dinner, enjoying themselves. They didn't even think about it. But that is true. It's not that we're picking on a particular group. It's just a cultural issue
Please tell
that
us
we've
why
developed.
you do this.
I don't know why we do it. I think it's handed down from generation to generation, and we've now perfected it.
gene.
We've perfected that gene.
Yeah.
So that we know that the coffee's not hot enough. We
Yeah.
know that the pasta has to be sent back,
Mhm.
and we definitely can't sit under a draft. Draft is very bad.
Yeah, no,
So
that's a
that's-
big. And then
that's-
you're sick for like you have pneumonia.
Right, you got pneumonia. Well, your mother does that.
Yeah.
She has pneumonia from the car being the top being down.
Right, exactly. And do you have a poppy?
Yeah, of course. Well,
Okay.
he actually is no longer with us.
Okay.
But of course, Poppy Billy,
So cute.
all time.
Now, do you have siblings? We didn't
Yeah.
ask.
I have two little brothers.
Okay.
Um,
And where are they in college, high school?
So one's 1 year younger than me.
Oh.
One is 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
The one who's a year younger just graduated from Harvard.
Oh, smart.
Smarty
Oh.
pants.
Not so fun when your little brother went to Harvard. And he actually took
Good for him.
did an extra year because of COVID. So
Right.
1 year apart, but now 2 years apart,
Right.
life-wise, sort of. And then my youngest brother's junior at Lehigh.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
So did you help move them in?
No, my youngest brother was like, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, knock yourself out.
Mhm.
And then the 1 year younger, I was in college at the same time. And
Right,
I was already
okay.
down in New Orleans.
So
way
your
before.
parents are empty nesters.
They-
Really empty
well,
nesters.
they were until one of us just moved back home.
Oh,
okay.
Which
Okay.
would be me, and I'm now there with my little brother because we're moving into the city in the fall.
Okay.
So they were happily empty nesters until very recently.
Wait,
Oh,
let's
they
talk
like to
about
have you back.
city living. You're like, are you going back to Murray Hill after you move back to the city?
So for branding reasons,
Yeah.
I feel like I should be going back to Murray Hill. But I think for my life, I did 2 full years in Murray Hill, by the book, like you're supposed to.
Yep.
I think year 3 might be pushing it. So I don't know where we're going to end up.
All right.
Fingers crossed, West Village.
Mhm.
But that is a very pricey and
Right.
You're so
sought-after
right though. Like
location.
you paid your dues. You lived there for 2 years. Like you'll be 25 or whatever when you're
Yep.
back here, and you don't have to be in Murray Hill if you don't want.
100%.
Well, Murray Hill is. I'm going to defend Murray Hill. It's a very nice area. It's
Have
a
you been
very
there?
gentrified. Yes, in the third. Absolutely,
okay.
it's lovely. So my father used to work right near there. I used to like it very much. It's just not an active scene for young people.
No,
But
I
there are
mean,
a lot of young people who live there because that's really
post grad
economically right.
Like there's a bunch of different buildings that people live in.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
100%.
I lived at home, so
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You lived at home for a
for
couple
like
of years.
5 years,
Not 5 years.
3.
Me and my friends always say after college ends, you have your 4 years of college again, which is post grad. You do your freshman and sophomore year in
Yeah.
Murray Hill University, which
Right.
is a bit that I have on one of my TikToks
Right.
somewhere,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And then your next 2 years, you live off campus. You go to West Village, Chelsea,
Right.
Tribeca, wherever you want.
Exactly.
But you know what? It really was so nice to be able to walk down Third Ave and see a bunch
Yeah.
of people you know. And for some
Mhm.
people, that's totally not their thing. They're like, why would I move to the biggest city in the world to see everyone I know?
I
But
like it.
That's so my shtick. I
Me
mean, I
too.
love it. I see my camp friends, my home friends, my
Right.
college friends. We all live within,
Yeah.
the same 8 blocks and 3 avenues of each other. And, leaving college is a really hard transition. So
Mhm.
just to know that you have something somewhat similar to that, especially when you're starting these really intense
Right.
corporate jobs, it's such a good safety blanket to have, I
Mhm.
think.
I agree.
Do any of your friends have like a similar career path to you, or all over?
Okay, so this is for the guys because I should know more about what my girlfriends do. In my head, they're all just in PR
Okay.
or marketing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I say for my guys, I have a good amount in law, either in law school or did the paralegal thing at first, which is what I did, and then go to law school, or are now just about to graduate law school, which is crazy.
Mhm.
And then finance, private
Right.
equity,
Mhm.
Yeah.
hedge funds, IB,
Yeah.
and then a couple in real estate. So that's kind of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
world that I live in, which if you watch my videos,
Yeah.
makes perfect sense because my finance bro characters are always in real estate or IB.
Yeah, I mean the
or-
impressions are so spot on, especially like worst guy at Surf Lodge and things like that who go up to a girl. Like there's a finance boy trope of like, what are they? They're kind of assholes.
Yeah,
Like,
they're trying to prove something to themselves by hitting on you, which is not the right way to go about it. I
Right.
mean, what do I know as a gay man who's never been to Surf Lodge? But I did just go last week. When I made
For the
that
first
when I made
time?
that video, I had no clue what I was doing. I'm not in finance.
Right.
I'm not straight. I've never been to Surf Lodge. And I was like,
but it was all
but
so
I would
believable.
bet this is exactly how they act. And when I went, I was like, all right,
you
yeah,
did it
Literally.
right.
hit the nail on the head with that one.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they're a little bit predictable.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the gems. Like, not everyone's a certain way, but they're very much like proving they could buy a table.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Like
well,
all
they're
that.
full of themselves, but it's all right.
Yeah. I think they also do it a
They'll
little
get
bit.
shot down.
Right. They do it a-
Eventually, they get shot down.
It's a little
Don't
bit
worry.
unintentional, I think. Like
Of
they're just,
course.
they're just peacocking. They're trying
Yeah,
to see,
exactly.
trying to see what lands. But you have more data on that than I do.
I
too.
know, literally. I've met a ton. I've gone on dates with a ton, and I feel like your videos sum it up pretty well. I mean, obviously, it's an exaggeration.
Yeah,
like no
for
one
sure.
is
For
that
sure it's a caricature.
crazy. Like maybe someone on a date will
Some of
make
your
one
dates,
comment
Kim.
like that.
Some of your dates.
Yeah,
have
like
been-
I'm trying to even
All right,
think,
whatever.
but I think that is pretty spot on of like the what is it? Like sort of like teasing you, but in a way that's like actually just mean.
Yeah, well, it's like when guys bully the girl they like on the
Yeah,
playground, but it's
right.
like as a way of flirting. But it's like, aren't you
How
just
older way?
aren't you just bullying?
Yeah.
And I see my friends, not my friends, I see other people's friends do it accidentally at bars when they're trying to like seem like they're really cool. And I was like, you think you put a little too much on that one? They're like, no, she loved it. And I'm like looking at the girl in the corner with her friends, like, get him away from me.
But there's definitely like, I mean, the straight finance bros are definitely a breed, but like there are the gay ones too. Where are
God,
they?
Where are they?
Wherever you're hiding them, I'm here.
He's
I
ready.
want to excuse my grandma. Let them walk in that door right now.
That's
Yeah,
so funny.
they should reveal themselves.
Yeah. I'm sure they exist. I'll obviously keep an eye out.
And same to you. If any of my friends pass my vetting process, they'll make it onto you.
I am seeing someone and I am older than you, but yeah, stop.
Thank God. Good for you. Because you put the work in.
I
Like,
do. Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
starting. In college, I didn't really date. I'm just starting now over the past year. And it's tiring.
I
It's
know.
scary. It's
Wait,
exhausting.
was your
It's-
first date this year?
my
Did I
first-
see that?
Yeah, my
Okay.
first date. So I've had 3 boyfriends in the past, but I've met them all like not through dating,
Mhm.
just through like one was the only other gay kid in my high school. My college boyfriend lived on the floor below me, and I went to one of his pre-games.
Organically.
And then my most recent boyfriend was like through a mutual friend. So
Mhm.
I've literally never gone on a date, like a proper first date.
First date.
And I was like,
Yeah.
first date. And I was like, my friends were like, do you think it's kind of weird that you're like never been on a date before? Like all of us are doing it. And I was like, oh no, I'm gay. And they're like, yeah, but you still want to find someone just like, be with. And I was like, you guys are totally right.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that now.
Not so easy.
Not so easy.
Not so easy. It's
Not
not, it's
so
really
easy.
tricky navigating the dating game today.
Are you doing setups
Sure.
or?
So it's been like a little bit of Hinge, a little bit
Mhm.
of mutual friends. My biggest thing has been guys just DM me. 'Cause
Really?
They're like, I see your
Yeah.
TikToks, I
Well,
see your
that's-
Instagrams.
And they're normal?
No,
Right.
no. The vast, I mean, 10 guys DM me a day. Let's say 9 to 10 of them are just not getting a response.
sure.
But like you said, there's the gems. There's one where I go to like stalk him and I'm like, oh, you know what? He seems cool. We have a lot in common.
Yeah.
This could maybe work. And I've been actually going on
Did
those
you go
dates.
out with him? Oh, good.
Yeah. No, so I've been on like 10 dates now.
With the same guy?
No, oh my God. No.
I was like, you have a
He was
my
going
boyfriend.
to be engaged.
Absolutely.
He's announcing his
Please.
engagement
Exactly.
today.
10 dates with the same guy. You with how much I post on Instagram, you would know.
Yeah.
No. I don't. Oh God. Maybe 1 or 2 of them have gotten a second date.
Okay.
I'm very picky.
So
It's
is
fun
Kimberly.
though,
That's all right.
right?
You're in the
Like-
right company.
Yeah, seriously.
Right. This is a very high standards
Exactly.
couch we have going on here.
Yeah, it's not worth spending your time with someone if they're not like making you feel what you want to be feeling and having fun and whatever. So
And everyone's so busy in the city, especially in the summer. Like it really does come down to time.
Mhm.
It's like, do I want to spend dedicate a whole night really to you? And
Mhm.
like my schedule is really full anyway.
Mhm.
So
What do you
yeah,
do for like a date night outfit?
You're looking at
No,
it.
this is perfect. I was
I'm-
gonna say you should wear this.
I'm chronically late to everything, inclusive of
Oh
this
my
podcast.
God, Kimberly! If he wasn't gay, you'd be a
I know we would be
match.
a perfect,
match.
match. Honestly, we are anyway. Like I am a gay man. Is that
But
like
yeah.
so annoying? Like
No.
the most cringy thing I've ever
No,
said.
no, not at all.
Okay.
I honestly, most people don't say that.
Okay.
People are
It's true.
hesitant to attach that to themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm throwing out whatever's in my closet. Whatever's on the top of the pile is just getting
Yeah.
thrown on.
Makes sense. At Tulane, what was it like being in Greek life? Like as a gay man, was that like not the norm? Was it harder
For
to
sure.
get into
Yeah.
your frat?
A loaded question there.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I'll try to pick it apart. So I really can't speak to all of Greek life in general. I think I was pretty set on being in a Jewish frat, of which Tulane has 2 of them. One
Mhm.
being mine, one being your little brother's.
Yeah.
It definitely Tulane in general is a very accepting
Mm-hmm.
place. I think it takes a certain kind of person to want to go to college in New Orleans and fly from the Northeast to go there. So you're already getting people who are more open to new
Yeah, exactly.
experiences.
True.
But at the end of the day, a frat's a frat. It's definitely not the typical place for a gay person to succeed. I know when I was rushing my frat, I was the only gay person
Oh, that's
who was
interesting.
rushing.
I would not have thought that.
No, there's not really gay guys in frats. It really depends
Well,
what school
you know
go
what?
to.
Or if they haven't come out.
Right.
I think they're gay
Yeah,
men there.
obviously, like-
Believe
one-
me.
I-
Believe me.
I have a whole list, a mental list of
Yeah.
people. I'm like,
Exactly. Exactly.
in 5 years, I know exactly where you're going
Who's
to be. but
coming out?
Is
Exactly.
it not my
All right.
business, not my circus, not my monkeys?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm someone who's just always had a guy group in high school and camp, and even when I first started as my freshman year, so a frat kind of made sense for me. I don't know if that's, you know, the right move for every gay guy, especially at Tulane. The city there's so much to do in New
True.
Orleans. You don't need a frat. But at least with me and the way that I present, I think a lot of people would say I'm like pretty straight presenting. I really saw no issues. I didn't get a bid my freshman year, which one could probably argue was probably tied to the fact that I was gay. But I think if I was just more outgoing and more confident,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been an issue.
Never know.
So listen, it's there.
Right.
It's
a little more difficult.
a little more difficult. But I
Mhm.
think if it's something you want to do, it totally can be done. And I would never discourage any gay guy from trying it.
Yeah.
Try it.
Right.
Try it. It blows up in your face.
You-
You're
you-
in college.
you walk
Who cares?
away.
Crumple up the
Exactly.
paper, throw it behind your shoulder.
Exactly.
Try new things. Always, college or not.
Yeah. No, I think that's good advice. It does seem crazy that there's like any even underlying homophobia on college campuses
Right.
when it's like, you know, our young future making like people. So
Yeah,
obviously
but don't forget, you're not in New York. Or you're not in
Yeah.
San Francisco. Or you're not in LA.
Right.
You're still in the South.
Right.
And
True.
even though the
Yeah, but
fraternities are probably not made up of very many Southerners, it's still, you know, there's still some prejudices out there.
I think it's just Greek life
100%.
as a system.
I
Right,
think exactly. I
right.
think
Yeah.
it's more
Exactly.
Greek life. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Which, you know, I did it sorority at Cornell, but there was like no hazing or anything of that nature.
Well,
Like
girls
the
don't do
guys
it as much.
obviously were, but we weren't like fully exposed to what it's like I just went to a party every weekend and
Yeah,
that was it. And it's like a
100%.
different thing, but it's a very real, I think it needs a lot of changes.
Yeah, and you know, I think that we see a lot of progress in the world as a whole, but are people's individual minds really changing? I mean, you know, I talk to Jewish parents all the time. We're like, listen, is it a choice? And I was like, trust me, if it was a choice, I wouldn't choose it.
Mhm.
So no matter how
Wait,
quick,
they do not ask that.
yeah, of course they do. Well, you know, I think a lot of straight people in general kind of just trust me as like a little social bridge between gays and the straights. So like they'll ask me questions that
Yeah,
they'll preface
in
like,
a
hey,
non-judgmental
right? They're just
way,
like,
yeah.
listen, like you're someone I trust. Let me just ask you what I think, and I'm happy to be that. I think
Okay.
having those kinds of open conversations are the only ways that we're gonna start changing people's minds. And you know, I have a sense of humor to it. I'm like,
Right.
who would choose to be? Why would I choose to
Yeah.
be gay? What's been easier in my life so far since being gay? Of course, I'd
Yeah.
love to marry
Or
a
just
girl like
being
Kim.
Jewish.
Exactly.
Being Jewish,
Right,
you're
double
really
homicide over here.
double killer.
It's my shtick, but you know what? Trauma makes you funny.
Exactly.
does.
You gotta go
That's
through something
exactly
to be
That's
able to
why
laugh at
there's
this
so many
life.
Jewish comedians.
Correct.
100%.
That's what Jerry Seinfeld has said very often. He said the worst things have happened to the Jews, and we're all the comedians.
Exactly.
So it is what it is, and you know, and it shouldn't matter.
Mhm.
And it's so good that you're living in 2024 and not the past.
100%.
So this is just fine. We're getting better, and we will get better as we age.
And
In
I
the
like
next-
I've sort of started to see in some of your videos like giving advice to like I like using your platform for that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to balance my audiences because I know I have those gay guys, but I know I also have those people who love Greek life, you know, which is a very straight thing. So I try to give bits and pieces to both, but you know, some of my videos touch on more serious topics, but it's scary. It's scary being gay when you come out early because you feel like you're like floating in space by yourself. I know for me, I didn't know anyone else who was gay. So it was just me on my own, kind of making up the rules as I went.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I think in the gay dating world, not the fault of the gays, but maybe society as a whole, there really isn't good avenues for meeting guys. And it's a really, really dangerous, slippery slope. And I cannot tell you how many young gay guys reach out to me and like, hey, this same thing happened to me, or this is going on, or what do you
Yeah.
think of that? And it makes my day to know that I'm now getting to be that source of information that I didn't have, especially to see someone who, you know, seem like cool or someone you admire, you know, to really be like,
Yeah. So you're saying you're cool.
I'm saying I'm cool. Like behind the scenes, like
Mhm.
I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I was that 16-year-old kid who just came out, who didn't know what he was doing,
Mhm.
who was making some, looking back, really poor decisions, but didn't know any better. And
How did your parents? Did they know? Or clearly, most parents do know if their children are gay, but some don't accept it as readily.
right.
Did your parents have an inkling before you came
I
out?
think so. When I used to put on musicals when I was younger, like in my living
Right.
room, one of which was an original called "It's Okay to Be Different."
Okay.
So if that did not
That-
bash my
that
if that did
definitely-
not
that
bash my
definitely
parents
rang
over
the
the
bell.
head,
That
saying
rang
that
the bell.
this boy's probably gonna grow up to be gay, I don't know what will. And my mom's a psychologist, so I grew up in a
Okay.
how do you
Okay.
feel about that kind of
Oh,
family.
all right.
So
she
they
was-
probably saw it coming. I mean,
Okay.
And grandma.
I'm a little bit of a ladies' man, so that part of them, they're probably just like, what's up with that? But that's just like
Okay.
fun and games,
Yeah.
they saw it coming. Grandma probably saw it coming too, but my whole family is very, very accepting. My other brother, Harvard, is gay also. So they better be
Did he-
accepting
Right.
because at
Did
this
he,
point we're
did
2 for
guys
he
are
3.
gonna have
was
great
he
parties.
also come out early or
Yeah,
just recently?
he came out the year after me. So
Oh,
wow.
mine was
so
my
they were
junior.
both young.
Yep. Both of us
Okay.
came out in our junior year of high school.
Okay.
Amazing. So I want to end the episode with a game we play with all of our guests. It's called Grandma Gail's Old Fashioned Dating Quiz. So
This is hard for him because he's just started. So we're going
with
to.
dating, right.
right.
Well, I feel like they're
I have a
pretty
little bit
easy.
under my belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to get the same questions anyway.
Okay. Would you rather receive a call or a text if it's just to say hi?
Okay. I'd say text, or if not, FaceTime. I love a good FaceTime and
Really?
or a voice note. Things get lost
What
in
if you like
words.
don't look good and you're not
Oh my
ready?
No, see that? I'm a boy dating a boy. There's no
Right.
such. We're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
What do you think I did to get ready for this podcast?
Put
I
a
brushed my
t-shirt
hair
on.
and
He
threw a
put a
t-shirt
t-shirt on.
Yeah.
So I'm
fair.
ready. Maybe I'll clip a ringlet. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
A ring light is always good, Kim.
Sleep with someone on the first date? Would you do it?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
if I like them, yes. Most first dates, that is not what they're getting. But if I like them, yes.
Dating apps or setups?
Oh, double-edged sword, because setups are tough because sometimes they think you guys are such a good match, and now you're in this weird conundrum of
Right.
like, I don't want to hurt his feelings, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we actually weren't a good match. So maybe dating apps, just because I kind of only have to answer to myself. But any of my friends who are listening, please set me up. Please, please, please set me up with people.
Don't listen to this.
I've set all of you up with so many people. My karma should be coming. So ignore that answer.
Move in together before getting engaged or wait?
So funny you say that. 4 of my best friends from high school have been dating for 10 and 8 years. And
wow.
they've been together
When
since.
they met when they were 5?
They literally met. Well, we all met when we were 5, but they started dating when we were like early high
Yeah.
school. And they're like, well, we're not going to propose till we move in together. I'm like, you've known the girl for 10 years. You know her family. You've been to her house. You guys do vacations together. Like, you think well, it's how messy her room is that's going
Right.
to end this relationship. So I think if it's your person, it's your person. And that kind of roommate-y sort of stuff really shouldn't get in the way. But I guess if it's a newer relationship, that could be just a good test in general to see if they're the right fit.
He's a modern dater, Kim.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kim.
I added new questions.
I didn't know that. Now you threw a thing
I
in
know.
there.
We're gonna see how they go. You're the first. You're my guinea
we're
pig.
the first. Okay.
Okay, tell me if this is a good one, Grandma. Would you ask for their parents' permission before proposing, or is that outdated?
Oh, I think I would. I mean, ideally, you want to have a really nice relationship with your partner's parents. So it's
I
just
think that's polite.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think it's
Not absolutely a mandatory thing, but I think what you do is you ask the girl first. If she says yes, say, all right, I'm going to go ask your parents.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Definitely.
Do a practice.
Definitely don't ask the parents.
Don't
first, but
ask-
it's
exactly.
cute. It makes
Yeah,
the parents
exactly.
smile. It's like a
Exactly.
formality. It's a
I-
tradition.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Okay. Do you like soft launch the relationship or even hard launch the relationship or keep them off social media until it's like really serious?
Such a funny question, Kim. So I've only been broken up with once in my entire life. It was my last boyfriend. I hard launched him so bad. I thought he was so cool.
And then
I
you have
thought
to do
he was
damage control.
so handsome. We both hard launched a
Yeah.
full-blown slideshow of each other. Everyone, it was like my most likes ever, most comments ever. I was loving it. I think he broke up with me a month later.
Oh.
I don't like
Wait, do you
social
know what
media.
hard launch is? We've talked about this, but it's like when you have an post with the person on your feed, it's very
I know.
clear.
I
you're in a
don't like it.
relationship.
I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like it until you have that ring on your finger or that
Ring.
bracelet on your hand.
Okay.
I don't think there's any reason for the whole world to know your dating status.
Right. I think it's tough as a
I mean,
content
look at last.
creator.
I mean, I put on your favorite program last night. I think I missed the channel that I was looking for. The decorate. We have to talk
Bachelorette,
about
but no.
this
Favorite
thing
channel.
now is really, really getting
Wait,
obscene.
you know that was the finale.
I know it
Oh.
was. I was so glad that I tuned in the last 5 minutes and I got this girl crying.
Wait, that was really bad ending.
That was bad.
That was bad.
That was very
was
sad.
very
That was a
na-
hard
that was
watch.
ma-
That was just
Did you watch it?
so I watch it like when I think it piques my interest, which this did. So
Yeah.
yes, I feel hard. It's a very sad.
I think
so
the
wait,
whole
do you
thing was
understand what happened?
not really.
Okay,
something
she-
was wrong with
she
him. All
ended
right,
up-
don't have to deal with
can I
this now.
just really quickly because then this episode it'll be like old news.
All right,
She picks one of the guys.
I saw that.
Okay, she decided she wanted to propose to him,
Right.
I don't
She
know
asked
why
him-
she's like
she did
changing the
that.
dynamic of this television show now, but she decides that. And then they didn't even want to air it because they broke up a few weeks later, even though he was like telling her how much he loved her the entire time.
But then he decided after she did this that he really didn't love
yeah,
her.
so they broke up, and then they showed the proposal anyway, but it was like not happy ending because they didn't end up together.
Well, the
And then
happy
she's, like,
ending is she's doing
crying.
Dancing on the Stars.
Is she? Okay, thank
Yeah,
God.
she
All
was
right,
on
well, that's-
television this morning.
It's a good
all
consolation
dressed
prize.
all dressed up, looking stunning. She was not crying. You know, this
Okay.
is all. I've
No,
been
she
telling you
was-
this
that was-
thing.
she
This
was
is all
upset.
baloney.
That
Oh,
was
come on.
that was
Those are
live
like
last night.
elephant tears.
No.
I think they probably get caught up in it, and it probably feels real
Exactly,
to them. But I do
yes.
agree, like there's so much manipulation happening to
Exactly.
make good television in general.
This is that
True.
exactly.
But I feel for Jen. I felt bad.
To
nobody
watch like being really happy, even if it was like with her ex or
Yeah,
something, to
yeah.
rewatch that, you're gonna cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry. It's such a phony baloney.
Okay, wait. That was like pretty much it. So I think you're
No, he's
more,
a modern dater.
like, but yeah, right.
Yeah, the
Modern?
first four were all modern.
Right. I would probably agree.
Yeah, Max. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell everyone how they can follow you.
For
Anything
sure.
else they need to know?
On Instagram, on TikTok, at Murray Hillboy on both. Send me a message. I'm very active on there. I'd love to talk to any of you guys. And thank you for having me. It's
Thank
been
you.
an
This is so
absolutely wonderful
fun.
time.
And Grandma Gail loves him. So no, don't stop. Keep doing it. It's just so entertaining and in good fun.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
And remember to follow us. We're Excuse My Grandma. Come back next Thursday, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.